All right. Before we start this podcast, I would just like to say that everything we say, we do not represent the staff, we do not represent the student population, and we do not represent any random person out there we do not know of. Just saying.
All right. Welcome to the Paulo Freire podcast. My name is Ferdinand.
My name is JZL.
I'm Jaisha.
And we're going to be talking about subjects of subjects.
Yeah, we're just going to be talking about subjects. So I think the first thing we should bring up is how nice this room is. It's just so beautiful.
Turn the lights off for a sec. Let's show them how it looks with the lights off. Look, it's
just so beautiful.
Paulo Panthers.
Shit, we should just keep it off. It's mad chill.
Look at Daryl in the corner. He's trying to hide from the camera. He's camera shy.
Camera shy?
Daryl's camera shy.
Turn on the lights. Shoot.
Daryl's Gene in the bottom left corner.
Shoot.
He's trying to shoot me in the corner.
Guest appearance, bro. Guest appearance.
Guest appearance.
Come on. Shoot.
Right, conversation. What are we talking about?
No, yeah. So first, I would just like to bring up how appreciative I am that I'm here.
Appreciative.
Yeah, just so awesome to be here. Amazing day.
Yeah, me too, I guess.
I want to go to sleep. That's what I'm feeling.
Not low key, but I mean, we just got to keep it positive for the people watching, because they obviously want to have a positive day.
Yeah, I agree. Positive vibes only.
No, yeah, positive vibes
Negative
only.
vibes only.
So you heard about Russia shooting down that big balloon?
Nah.
Wait, Russia shooting down a balloon?
Yeah, they just shot down a big balloon and closed their airspace, so nobody's
I
even
thought
allowed
that was
in there.
America shooting down a Chinese balloon.
Nah, now Russia shooting balloons.
There's a new one.
There's more new ones.
Yeah, when did this happen?
This has been happening for a minute. I think some are in China too. I don't know if the United States sends those.
Russia balloon. Let's see. How about Russian ballet? Oops.
Russian ballet.
It's just Russian people dancing to ballet music.
Shoot, you're probably gonna get a bunch of videos for that too. Low key.
Russian balloon. Russia spy balloon over Ukraine.
Bro, what?
That's what I'm seeing. At least 6 balloons floated over Ukraine capital on Wednesday, triggering air raid alarms.
Just like regular balloons.
It says
it's spy
6
balloons.
Russian balloons, spy planes in quotations.
Bro, they probably just have nukes up in those things, low key.
I mean, why don't we talk about aliens and stuff like that?
That's such a good point. We should bring up aliens.
Like,
what do you think is gonna happen? What's your prediction?
I think by the what year? We're 2023. I think by like the year 2035, aliens are gonna be proven to exist. Because with the years coming, every month or week or so, there's always something new about aliens or UFOs or like extraterrestrial objects flying in the air.
All right, but like, with how many like CEOs we got, like Jeff Bezos, I'm pretty sure there's already aliens. There's definitely aliens.
I mean, someone I know who worked in like the Navy, they were like every night they would see stuff fly out the water and stuff like that. Like they're a veteran. They said like almost every night they would see stuff flying out the water, stuff glowing in the air.
That sounds creepy
like,
as hell.
I think like
so.
I think like stuff from outer space did land on Earth, and then we got their technology and we're just testing it out in the U.S. waters. I think that's what's happening.
I'm not gonna. I mean, that could be a possibility because America, they just be coming up with upgrades out of upgrades each year.
I mean, how do we go from the Stone Age to building electric cars and stuff like that in the matter of 100 years? But the years before that was really slow.
No, these past few decades have been fast. Have you seen how fast technology has like improved?
I mean, since Area 51 was created, technology. You know the Blackbird, like the huge Blackbird.
I know what you're talking about. That plane.
Yeah, it was made in 1990, but it was only revealed to the world like not even like 6 years ago. That's like 20 something years of not revealing them that. Just imagine what they have
themselves.
Just imagine what they're creating like this year. That could be revealed like in a few 20 years that they're not even going to release yet.
I mean, Russia is about to just test out this huge nuke they have. It's like one of their most powerful nukes. They're just going to do it for fun, I guess.
Yeah, I saw something about that on 22 News. Or not 22 News. What's that? Inside Edition. That's what I saw. Something like that.
I saw it on like CNN.
Fake news.
Yeah, fake news.
Fake news.
CNN type activities.
But
I think
most definitely aliens are gonna, or something extraterrestrial is gonna happen soon.
So do you believe in aliens?
How do you think that's gonna happen though?
I mean, I feel that since we're experiencing space more with SpaceX and like Elon Musk is
Mhm.
doing all that, I think he's gonna do something and something's gonna explode in space. When the rocket's up there, it's gonna explode in space. It's gonna like send like a transmission to like aliens or something like that, and they're gonna like send something back.
I mean, actually, by 2025, scientists did say they're just going to send out a bunch of our data that we've collected for like thousands of years,
Mhm.
and they're just going to send it to space with our locations. So, I mean, like,
I
it
mean,
could get worse too.
there's a
low-key.
lot of crazy stuff that's happened. Like, you know, the bloop, you know what that is in the Mariana Trench? You know what that is?
No, I've never heard
Yeah.
of it.
So a few years ago in the Mariana Trench, scientists were getting just a bloop, like just what I said, bloop from the
Mhm.
Mariana Trench, and they don't even know what it is.
They don't even know what the
Just
bloop
just
is.
a, just a
It's
bloop
just a huge
sound.
monster under there.
That's what they were saying. They thought it was like a crack.
It's just a
'Cause
huge monster.
The Mariana Trench is still not fully discovered, so they thought there was like
Tell people what the
Mariana Trench is the deepest point in the. I don't know. I don't know what ocean it's
I
in.
think it's just the ocean in
I-
general.
No,
Might
it's,
be.
I think it's the Atlantic Ocean.
No, yeah.
If
Atlantic.
I'm not
I think
mistaken,
if
I'm gonna double
if not
check, but I
Atlantic,
believe it's the
Pacific.
Atlantic. Yeah,
Pacific.
Pacific. Yeah.
Pacific.
Yep. Located
But,
in the
um,
Western Pacific Ocean. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
not just
the
that guy.
Mariana Trench. There was a bloop from there, and they think it's like frozen ice, like
Mhm.
you know, like the ice age on that. They think there's frozen ice under the Mariana Trench that cracked open. That's just like a creature made that sound, and it's not open enough for the creature to get through yet.
That's kind of terrifying. Like,
No,
can you
that
just
is.
imagine all the stuff hidden underneath ice we just don't know about?
I
Just like-
mean,
And the
NASA.
water in general.
oh yeah, that's what
NASA
I'm
was
saying.
originally discovering the ocean before they moved to space. Just think about what they found the ocean just for them to move to space.
I don't think we've explored like any part of
Yeah.
it. I think
I
we've only
think-
explored like 10%.
Yeah,
too.
there's like 10 to 12% that's exploring the whole like the whole world. The ocean's like discovered.
I've questioned that before. Like, what if we could just find a bunch of resources underwater we're just not even paying attention to?
Oh,
Yeah.
there's most definitely like stuff frozen under there still from way long ago. Most definitely.
Like, if we could find a way to like siphon all of that, we'd be chilling for a little bit.
Oh yeah, just the pressure down there. That's the only thing restricting us is pressure.
No, yeah, that's true. If you go down there as a human, you're dead.
There's like definitely materials down there that can withstand that pressure, but there's no way to get them because we don't have those materials to go down and make like the submarine or anything like that.
I'm like, I could just like, I don't know. There would just be so much stuff. Like, probably new materials too. Like, imagine we would just find a whole bunch of new
Oh, yeah.
materials because of the pressure.
Oh, there's probably stuff there that's like unbreakable.
Like freaking diamonds, a whole bunch of diamonds. It's gotta
There's
be.
probably like gold, diamonds, crazy valuable items down there that we can't even get yet.
Shoot, but no, scientists. I think they're actually just gonna go to space and just start mining rocks. That's
I
definitely
mean-
something they're gonna do.
There was something I saw by like the year 2040-ish that they could like land on Mars with an actual person, but I don't think that's gonna happen that quick because Mars is really far away.
And Mars is just dangerous. Mars has a bunch of like crap going on. It's not fit for human
Yeah.
life.
They I think it was this year or last year they discovered a planet that was 98.7%, if I'm not mistaken, like resemblance to Earth, like same atmosphere, same thing, but that's in a whole different galaxy.
I could just imagine like they just send our DNA to that planet, and like in the time it takes to get there,
It'll-
you're just reborn on a different planet. Like imagine that. Yeah, Daryl.
There-
Oh, wow.
there-
Hopefully you're not
that
watching the
planet.
podcast right now.
Yeah, but that's in a whole different galaxy. Like, there's so many different galaxies. There's probably different worlds that's happening like right now. Like we're doing right now, that's happening on different planets, like in different galaxies. I think
So,
so.
how do you guys feel about the flat Earth there?
I
I
think
mean-
no.
I don't believe it.
The
No,
Earth
nah.
isn't flat. I mean, the moon landing, we clearly saw that the Earth was. I
What if they
mean-
didn't? You know, what if that wasn't real? The moon land.
I mean, that is true because every time reporters have asked Neil Armstrong about the moon landing, he always dodges the question, runs away.
Well, he's actually
Yeah, you could.
he actually denied that it happened on like 2 occasions.
Yeah,
Really? I never knew that actually. It's
yeah. The
crazy.
government shut him up. They don't want to kill him to look suspicious, though.
I mean, like, I don't think the Earth's flat though necessarily, because I mean, there's been a lot of like proof that it isn't. Like that one flashlight test, I don't know how to explain.
Yeah, I
this.
saw that flashlight test where they like held it at the same.
It's supposed to show that the Earth's like curved.
Yeah,
So, because basically, if the Earth was flat, like the light, you would be able to see it on the other side of like the wall they had placed in between. But since the Earth is curved, that light wasn't able to go through it all the way because the Earth is curved. So that wall right there is basically curved with that light.
yeah.
I don't know how to explain it that well. Don't let it die though, man. Come on. We need to have
I've
a
been talking this
conversation
entire
sometime.
time.
So where does the information come from? Like when you said, I think, Like, what is that thought based on?
I've seen the research before. I've seen research like it was this specific theory that somebody who believed the Earth was flat came up with before, and like the best way I can explain it is there's this wall, and his theory was that if the Earth was flat, he should be able to point a flashlight from like 12 feet or like a little less, and it would be able to show through that wall because he had like a little hole inside of it too. But since the Earth is curved, he tried doing it himself, and the light wouldn't go through the hole all the way. I don't know how to explain it again, but there's a video out there. If you search it up, you'll find it easy.
Where is it?
YouTube.
No, I was gonna say something. Where is it? They said, is it the South Pole, the Antarctic? But they said there's like there's a certain area where leading nations would not allow like aircraft.
Arctica.
Yeah. I see that on Google Maps. They have certain points of Antarctica blurred out. I'd most definitely think there's testing going on there, like Area 51. That's more secluded.
I mean, it could be that.
Because Area 51 is like a known place. Imagine the places we don't know where testing is going on.
I mean, governments are shady though. Like,
I mean, I know there's like a long stretch. We're in how Stranger Things. They have that thing in the Antarctic where it's like underground, off like the Russian.
Yeah, I think a lot of things are underground.
Oh,
yeah,
most
there's definitely a lot of underground
Like-
things.
Do you think there's people who live like in the middle of the earth? You ever heard that theory?
I've thought that before.
You thought that?
Yeah, I've thought like, what if people like?
I mean,
middle.
like Putin has like an underground lab. He's definitely just gonna hide there whenever he thinks
I
somebody's
mean,
gonna kill
just
him.
underground bunkers, but
Yeah. Like Hitler had an underground bunker.
when you're on
I think.
social media, people talk about
Underground people.
civilizations that live in the center of the earth.
That would be
Those
so
are the
weird for
aircraft
me.
that we see
Yeah,
from time
there's
to time.
like been stuff like miners have like went into caves and they found whole underground civilizations that have like died out from that, like the Aztecs and people like that.
I just watched something like that. They have tunnels are completely like huge cities completely underground.
Yeah.
Happened right after the flooding or something like that.
Yeah.
They built cities underground. It's
Where?
crazy.
That would be so
Turkey.
creepy to me.
It was in like South
Turkey?
America
It was
too.
like Turkey. Yeah, there's a couple of locations.
You watched it on what?
It was a documentary. It was either on Netflix or Prime.
I'm just saying
What's it
though.
called?
I looked for it.
I'm just saying though. If I ever found one of those people, like if they ever existed underneath the ground, I'll be like the first person to say hi to them. Like I'll dap him up and all that. Like I'm not trying to have any enemies. Like
He
I'm
dapped
chilling
him
with
up and
them.
then he's done. He's dead. He didn't even probably mess with
Oh,
him.
They're gonna start speaking different language.
Speaking of like civilizations that like we haven't heard of, you know that civilization that lives on an island in somewhere in South America where that
Yeah.
guy went to?
Yeah, I heard of that.
Yeah. Like think about that. Like there's so many unexplored islands and stuff too that people like. There's like what's the word I'm trying to think of? But there's so many people like from those tribes and stuff that don't even know like we're alive or there's like people besides them.
You ever think about like how we're like basically as intelligent as our like ancestors, but they just didn't have as much knowledge as us?
Oh yeah, like if our ancestors had the knowledge we had, it would be it's
So
mind blowing.
weird. That would be mind blowing.
Yeah.
They would look like really different too, because back then they were built different.
Yeah, back then there was a lot of incest and stuff like that. Like
A lot of incest, definitely a lot of
there
incest.
was like because people there wasn't like I'm trying to think of the word, but there wasn't as much information about each other back then as there is now. Like with,
Oh yeah.
with that ancestry.com and stuff like that.
Let me just real quick. It's called Ancient Apocalypse. It's a Netflix.
I saw that on my recommended or
It's
featured.
actually pretty good.
I don't know if
I was gonna watch that. I saw it like last week. I was gonna watch it, but
I watch so many documentaries. It's actually crazy. I love documentaries.
oh, speaking of like documentaries and stuff, what about that Willow project? I saw some stuff about that on the news.
Project? I don't think I saw that.
Yeah, it's something about oil and like the population of the Antarctica or something. It was something like that. I gotta 100% look at it, but
They're probably about to start robbing Alaskan people.
Willow project. Yeah,
So the
there's a
climate
pension.
People are advocating against it. Which just days ago, decision on the face. Which just days ago until the Biden administration is set to release a decision on the first major oil drilling project of its tenure. The White House has indicated that it may reduce the scope of the controversial project that has drawn fierce criticism from climate advocates. The Willow project, proposed by ConocoPhillips, is a massive and
Decades-long oil drilling ventures on Alaska's North Slope. That's what I saw. Are you looking at the CNN one?
They're gonna
CNN,
freaking
yeah.
drill now.
Yeah, it's been like it's been in the works for like a long time, but they like just made it public or so now.
This is a bro moment.
Yeah, it will just pretty much
It's a bro moment.
pretty much
This is
all
a bro
of
moment.
what was it? Was Alaska or the North Pole?
I'm
Something.
doing too much.
Yeah, they're pretty much just what was it? It was
They're basically
in
saying,
Alaska's North Slope. Pretty much, they're just gonna pretty much take over that like
wow,
those acres of Alaska and pretty much just drill for oil.
that's so great. Honestly,
I mean, it is,
Why is
but
that
it
great?
isn't.
I'm being sarcastic.
Oh, I,
I mean, there is pros and cons of it. Like
What are the pros?
the pros, oil, more trade for the United States to have more opportunities
Those are some
for
great benefits.
yeah, great benefits for opportunities with different countries to
Mhm.
make alliances and stuff like that. Oil trade, because that's like one of the biggest things in the
Yeah.
world right now. And then there is one con is life in the Alaska North Pole. Alaska is
Have you like in like this winter? Have you
Alaska's
seen?
North
It
Slope.
hasn't even been like winter. Like they cannot be doing this stuff anymore.
Yeah, Alaska's North Slope population is going to decline with polar bears, humans, like all
if
that's
they
crazy.
proceed, life is going to decline there.
Life is going to decline there. Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely why we should do it.
Yeah, there's a pension going around. It has currently 1.6 million signatures and continues to grow.
Okay, so I mean there is 8.4 billion humans. So like
Mhm.
I'm assuming they should not pass this. I'm assuming they shouldn't pass this, but
I think they're not going to pass it because it does say it's going to release 9.2 million metric tons of planet warming carbon pollution in the air just in a small amount of time. If it was slowly released, it wouldn't be as bad, but all that in one fast motion is going to hurt the planet in the
Which is going to create massive flooding across
Yeah.
the globe.
I
And-
find
and
this
it's-
kind of humorous because America, they're just gonna be like, huh, small sacrifice, we'll get over it.
it's going to hurt Earth's what's the it protects the sun from like actually harming us. What's the It's the
Ozone layer?
Yeah, ozone layer, because it could affect the ozone layer too, because our ozone layer is shrinking every year,
No, yeah,
slowly and slowly.
I think there was like a freaking hole in the ozone layer in Alaska too before, just in Alaska. So like imagine that. Go
Yeah.
for
The
Alaska
coldest
again.
place, or one of the coldest places in the world, it has an ozone layer, which is crazy. A hole in it.
No, yeah, and I think they did that because of freaking nuclear energy too. That's why. They
Oh
shut
yeah,
it down.
just imagine how much like nuclear pollution's in the waters and stuff like that too.
So what do you guys think? I mean, as you talk about global warming, you talk about these billionaires looking to drill in Alaska and other areas.
Mhm.
Do you give any thought to these billionaires, or the theory that a lot of these billionaires want to decrease the world's population? So
Would make sense.
I mean, there was that Ohio train explosion that wasn't even talked about in the news like that until it became like stuff in the water. That it wasn't a thing till like people started noticing changes about in the water and their health. It wasn't a
Mhm.
whole thing, and they're just letting it burn out still, which is crazy. I have the feeling like that was planned or something like that. Because why wouldn't that create like worldwide attention? It was barely in the news.
They just be hiding stuff from us.
Like that puts so much stuff in the atmosphere and the clouds and all the rain, like that could damage miles and miles of area.
It's like the government's the
say-
owner of Twitter.
Yeah. Did you say they hide stuff from us?
Yeah.
Explain.
I mean, like, I think I've like I don't know if Putin said this himself, but he did say that the government has like their own group of people who control them themselves. So like the government can't make them their own decisions because they have people like telling them what to do on their own time.
Yeah.
So I would like to think that like even if the government was like, hey, this is gonna kill like a ton of people, I don't think they could really do much. Like even if people would just start being like, yo, I don't want this to pass, I don't feel like they just want more money, more
there-
fuel.
Yeah.
Are the people ready to do anything?
I mean, I just learned about this, so I don't think so.
There was a guy who worked for the U.S. government, and he came out after he reportedly left, but he got fired. He didn't state that. After he got fired, he revealed that the government's not really controlling what happened in the world, that there's a group of 50 men and no women at all, only men controlling the world and the decisions that what the world has come to.
This is like Squid Games.
I bet you they're all
So
old too.
stupid.
Yeah, I feel like it's just like all men in their 50s and 60s controlling the world, because most people in the government are older. But he said like the government doesn't even control the world; they're just a front for it, pretty much. And that these 50 men are like the underground like leaders of the whole world.
It would make
Yeah, I
sense too,
heard about
because
that.
they gave all the people permission to abolish government if they ever decided they want to, but they never even gave you an instruction book on how to do that. They were like, yeah, you could do this, but like I know you're not going to do it anyways.
Like that guy who said that, I saw it on it was on YouTube. It was a small documentary. It was like a 20-minute documentary about how this was stated, and that guy went missing. I can't remember his name. I'll have to find it, but he went missing and they never found him.
It's like that one dude from China who's trying to talk about COVID and he just disappeared.
Yeah, he
randomly.
disappeared. He exposed what China was doing in the early stages of COVID, where the dead people, they weren't properly disposing of them. They were putting them in buses and back of trucks and just shipping them out to random places, doing God knows what with their bodies for experiments. I have a feeling about that.
Do you think COVID would have been as bad if like they just didn't let the people from China go to the United States for a little bit?
There was something I saw on YouTube about how there was a lab leak that caused COVID. It was a it was a conspiracy about that. That's what
Yeah, I saw that too.
Conspiracy.
I used to listen to those conspiracy theories like that.
I'll try to find it, but it was they said if it was a lab leak that caused COVID, that China they could go to war, so something like that.
They could definitely go to war for that. The United States is gonna be mad. You made us lose this much money. Definitely.
Yeah.
Beef.
Was the pandemic real?
Nah,
I'm sorry. Say it again.
no.
I
Why
feel
you
like
said, hold on. She hasn't talked at all. Why
Yeah,
do you
that's
feel?
true.
I don't want to put you on the spot. If you don't put you on the spot.
Oh no, I just
Okay. Why do you
well,
think it wasn't real?
like the COVID and stuff like that. I don't know, but I like they were saying like I have heard like a lot of like conspiracy theories about like about China and how they were shipping like bodies and stuff like that. But I just feel like they were trying to like decrease the population or something, or I don't know. The government is like behind a lot. Like they said, like those men, the older men, like that control. I've heard a lot about them too, and like yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
There, if you've noticed, almost every 100 or so years, there's been one massive
Yeah,
massive
Yeah.
illness going around, like the plague, swine
Yeah.
flu, bird
Bubonic.
flu,
yeah.
the Black Plague, now COVID in the 2000s. The next 100 years, what could it be in the next 100 years? Like, it could be something even worse than COVID, because COVID killed what 100 or so million. I saw, I believe.
Yeah.
I can double check, but it was.
I think it killed like around 10 million, 100 million, like you said.
Where do you get that data from? The government?
No, from CDC.
And CDC would have all that data worldwide because.
The government, maybe.
But you said.
I mean,
earlier-
it is CDC.
But then you say you don't trust the government.
nah.
You didn't say that.
I don't trust government. I don't trust government. I don't trust government. I have to.
When they say that they lost almost 10 million people, I'm not saying this, I'm just throwing questions out. I'm not taking
Yeah.
a side. I'm just saying, do you trust those numbers?
No, I think there's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's difficult to answer.
They have
that
to give us
question.
Oh,
something.
okay. So
They
there's
have to give us
been-
something
They
for
got
us
to
to
throw a number
believe
out
them.
there, right?
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
on the official World Health Organization website. There has been a reported 758 million cases of confirmed cases of COVID-19, and there's been around 7 million deaths, and there's only been 13,000 doses that have been distributed around the whole world.
So who substantiates those numbers? How do we know those numbers are accurate?
Death total. There's a map right here. I can look right now.
Yeah, how do they get those
Yeah, but
numbers?
showing me a map. Who put the map total up there?
The World Health Organization, but we don't know if we can trust them or
I mean,
not.
and that's
I
only
don't
like the
think you-
confirmed cases too. Like that's the only the cases they tested themselves.
A lot of it is in South America, China, but the rest of it is in the United States.
I think COVID was just so confusing.
Yeah, the least place in the world that had COVID was Greenland.
Wow, I would have loved to live in Greenland at the time.
You guys had COVID.
I had like the times
I've
I did
had-
have it, I never felt it. I'm not
I've
even
had
joking.
I've had COVID 5 times.
I've had it
I-
like 3 times. My
I never
family had it.
COVID.
I have asthma, so I'm like susceptible to it.
I've never
Susceptible.
had it.
That's what I'm saying. Like I have asthma too, like chronic asthma.
Mhm.
So I was like, okay, if I get COVID, it's gonna be really bad. But
Yeah.
every time I had it, like I just never felt it.
The first,
Oh,
I think it was the third time I had it. I had to get intubated in the hospital.
And
Yeah, that was the only bad time I had it. Every other time was fine. It was
would've
just
been
like
scared.
it was just headaches, like fever, cough, raspy voice. That was really it for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then it went away.
Did you ever lose your taste?
Taste, yeah, I still can't taste some things. The
What?
most recent time I had it was
I heard that.
I
happens
think
too.
like a month before I came into the school, so like 3-4 months ago I had it.
that's crazy though. Like how that happens. 'Cause I've heard that happens to some people. Like some people, they get COVID so bad that like afterwards they can't even like eat anything because the food tastes terrible to them.
Yeah, the whole time I had COVID, I could only taste ramen noodles. That was the only thing I could
Then-
taste.
Then you think about it, like, then COVID is probably like man-made, because like, how can you just lose your taste and like not get it back? That just doesn't seem normal, you know?
Like,
that is
like
that
what
is
what
weird.
happened to your taste buds for them to just all be eliminated? If you think about it, like how can that happen from an illness? Because
That
The
can't be,
only
like,
way
person like it can't be spread like past like people like face to face. Like
Mhm.
it had to be like something. Like I don't know how to say it, but like
Mhm.
I mean, I'm like
You're going in the right direction. Those are the questions to ask. Go ahead.
I feel like the fact like you can get infected and have some part of that virus still left within you that like some people like they can't taste certain things. Some people find certain things disgusting that they used to like enjoy a lot because of that. I like it's like weird. I've never seen that happen before. I don't know how that would work. Like
like I don't like pork anymore after COVID. I just can't eat it. It just makes
Actually-
it makes my stomach feel weird after every time I eat it after COVID. Pork is just uneatable for me now.
yeah, I've heard that. Like some people just stop eating like certain meats.
Yeah, that's the only meat I can't eat. Everything else is fine. Just that one product of food I just can't eat for some reason. Just makes my stomach feel weird and I just feel super lightheaded every time I eat it.
You know what? But you want to know what I think we should talk about?
What?
On the topic of foods, what's your favorite food?
Tacos or chicken wings?
yeah, tacos or burritos definitely.
Tacos just oh
Me?
my god.
I'm gonna have to settle for pasta. Pasta's like OG.
I had
day one.
pasta last night. It was all right, but tacos.
Oh, we have 2
Yeah.
views.
Yeah, we got 2 views.
What's cracking?
Yeah,
we
one of-
no, we have
one of
one
them's my
viewer and
girl.
one like. That's Daryl.
Yeah, it's Daryl.
Daryl
We
with the
love you,
one, like-
Daryl.
We got Daryl with the one. Oh, we got 0 views now. They left.
Dang, they heard us.
They heard us.
Bro,
Oh,
it's so
no.
unfair.
That's funny.
Well, I think it's time to go.
Damn,
Is it-
it's about to be time to go.
Damn, that went by fast.
Dang, this
In
was like,
Greenland, since COVID started, there's only been 21 deaths in Greenland.
this has been such a successful podcast.
That-
Well, you said 23.
21 deaths during the whole COVID since 2019. There's only been 21 deaths.
And what's
But-
the population over there?
I cannot check that. I can probably look it up right now. But there's been 12,000 confirmed cases in Greenland with only 21 deaths. I'm
Yo,
gonna look
wait.
up the population of Greenland right now.
If I guess their population right, y'all owe me like $1 million. I think their population is like 31K. It's got to be 31K.
That's-
31K flat.
I gotta look it up.
Greenland is 56,000. So
You're-
so 1/5 of Greenland pretty much had COVID.
I got close, though.
Yep, that's
only 21 out of all
that's
51.
the 2021 reading. That's what it says. It probably
What's the population?
let's see. I think it's population of
I don't even know that myself.
154,789 according to 2021.
Are you for real?
Mhm.
I'm trying to move out.
Greenland?
I'm trying to leave, bro.
But
I'm trying to
Greenland-
leave.
note, we gotta go.
No, we gotta go, bro. I'm tired of
Greenland
this.
is a lot of ice and coldness. I mean, it has very good views and like nature, but it's very cold to live there.
It's very cold. to live
But
here, too,
Iceland is
a
like
little bit.
Iceland and Greenland are like different but the same. Like Greenland should be named Iceland if you think about it, because Iceland is where it's like green and more like less cold.
Okay,
But Greenland, oh, ice and coldness. I never got
yeah,
the,
that doesn't make sense.
I never
to me.
got the point of that.
Are they like they're next to each other too?
Yeah.
I mean, at least they're like friendly. I guess they're like.
All right. So that has
Damn.
been the Paulo Freire podcast.
Y'all should check us out again next time.
Check me out on Insta. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, check me out on Instagram.
But thank you for viewing. It's been a pleasure.
Shoot, actually, Daryl, you should let us plug our stuff. Shoot, JACKSONGALAA Instagram.
Oh.
Okay, follow me on Instagram, White Boy Ferd. You know, hit me up. You know.
White boy.
I'm
Ferd.
good.
I got you, bro.
All right. Well, thank you guys tuning in. See ya.
See ya. Successful podcast.